the core with Ryan. What Ryan's about to teach you guys, I want you to understand two things. One, he's a core coach. The students pay a total, all the students, his 12 students, is about $42,000 a month to hear him speak, to hear him coach. So one, realize that he's a professional coach. And what he's saying is, number two, is it's actually made not only me as a loan officer, but him as an agent over $1 million a year. So what he's saying, don't take it lightly. If you actually implement this, if you actually do this, this will change your life and your family's life. And it's not that hard. There's nuances to it. You have to be religious and consistent about it, but it's absolute gold and money. So without further ado, one of the people that helped change my life, Mr. Ryan McKee.
Well, thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. All right. Well, I get to teach you guys today about probably one of the best and most favorite topics that I have. Do I need to be anywhere in particular? Okay, cool. So, like Laura was saying, like this simple, nothing that we do is groundbreaking, nothing that we do is proprietary. Like Laura said, a lot of what we do is just consistency. And for me, I love people. And so I get to do what I love with the people that I love. And that turns into business. And that's been what's changed my life and my business. So I want to tell you guys a little bit about me first and a lot of my motivations. And then I want to get you guys into some tactics. And the way that I like to do my trainings is I'll have you guys write down and save your questions for the end. And then I'm going to leave some time at the end for you guys to ask questions. Sound good? Okay, so what we're talking about is lead generation through powerful, profitable partnerships. And the key word that you guys are going to hear me talking about today is VIPs, right? So I have this group of people that are called VIPs in my life. And these are the people that I spend all of my time with. They are all my primary focus. Because I don't know about you guys, it tends to be something that's typical in real estate and lending is we're squirrels and we chase these shiny pennies and think that the next best thing is something different than what we're doing. And ultimately for me, that's where coaching has helped. So like Laura said, I'm not here to sell you on coaching. I'm just here to tell you my experience and hopefully you guys can relate to that. The other big thing is Laura like way over talked me. So I'm probably like the simplest. You guys that know me, I'm very simple and I'm not super smart. I didn't graduate college or anything like that. So just know, like if I can do this, I promise you guys, this is something that the tools are out there. You just have to pick them up and use them. So let me share with you guys a little bit about my motivation. So this is my family. So I am from Southern California, so born and raised in Riverside. I'm a third generation real estate agent. I don't know if that's good or bad, but for me it's been pretty good. My wife's name is Candace. We've been married for 20 years this year, and we've got 4 amazing kids. Some of them aren't even kids anymore. So right next to me is my son Dylan. He's 20 years old. He works for me now. So he's in process of getting licensed. So you're looking at the 4th generation of McKee Real Estate right there. Before I joined real estate, I played music professionally. So one thing you'll see is obviously when I don't have my long sleeves on, I'm tattooed. And that was a big, actually for me, is getting into a professional field. That was one of the things that was my biggest attractor. I thought people wouldn't want to work for me because work with me because I'm tattooed. And I'm realizing like it was all just self-talk. There was no issues with that. So funny stuff, but I played music for almost 10 years. Obviously didn't make it big, so here I am. Real estate is plan B. So if you ever heard my music, you'd understand why. So along with all the great decisions that I've made, I actually decided to get into real estate in 2008. Anybody in the business around then? Some of you guys were born around then. So 2008, Dustin, right? Remember, best time to get in real estate, would you say was 2008? Perfect. Absolutely, perfect time. So despite having family in real estate telling me don't get into real estate, I went against that, decided to get into 2008, and off we went. So fast forward 10 years, okay? So got into business 2008. Really just did no coaching, no training. So, those of you that are here with Nest was not available when I came into the business. There was some of the bigger companies, and I have nothing against the bigger companies. But for me, I felt like a small fish in a big pond. And there wasn't enough personalized training to really tell me what to do. And I'm sure you guys know, when we get our real estate licenses, we learn how to take the test, pass the test, but then you get your license, it's like, okay, what now, right? So I didn't know either, and I just figured, for 10 years I was chasing everything. I'm like, well, should I do property management, REOs? What am I going to do here? Nothing really stuck. And so through trial and error, I started to build a business. And in 2018, 10 years after getting in, literally I came to my wife and I said, hey, I hate real estate. I don't think it's for me. I think I'm done. I was burnt out. I was leveraged out. I was working out of my home office, so my commute home was from the office to the kitchen. Work never left. It was never separated, and I just hated it. And from there, I had somebody come into my life, and it was a part of developing this program. So that's why I'm really, this is near and dear to me. So that guy right there in the back, his name is Dustin Bingaman. So Dustin is the top VIP in my life. I don't consider him just a business partner. I consider him a friend and a brother. And he's given to me a gift that I can never repay. So that's why I'm hoping if one of you guys can tie into this. I'm telling you, this is from a financial standpoint, it's one thing, but it's also helped me to leverage my time. It's changed my family. It's changed the trajectory of our life. So it's super important to me, okay? So Dustin came into my life. He told me about a coaching program called the Core Training. And I mean, just from the sound of it, I'm like, nope, no thanks. Sounds like a money scam to me, right? All coaching programs, they just want your money. That's literally what I thought. So I told him no for about 2 years. And after a while, after Dustin was pouring into me, we started to develop a relationship. He told me a little bit more about it. So just like with what Laura and I were able to develop, Dustin was sharing with me something that worked. I finally heard it. I heard the message when I needed to hear it. And I decided to give it a shot. So went to a seminar. It's called The Summit. And I got there and I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is more than just hype. This is real. So when you're surrounded by 500 people that consistently make over $1 million per year, some make, what's Scott Foreman making this year? $16 million, giving away $1 million a year, 2 million, sorry. Yeah, don't want to shortchange that. So that sounds pretty good to me. I'd like to do that. I'll even just take $1 million if that's even possible. So anyway, needless to say, I felt like I was the smallest person in the room. And to be honest with you, when I came there, I'm like, I'm going to teach these guys something. I'm a big shot in Riverside, so to speak, and was so wrong with that. So was able to learn about that and get exposed to this program called the Core. So prior to the Core, I want to share with you guys exactly what my business looked like. I had no VIPs, okay? Was not tracking leads at all. So if a lead came in, it was going on the back of a McDonald's wrapper, a napkin, I don't know, but it wasn't getting tracked. Zero life balance, very uncyclical or very cyclical, unbalanced business. I had no team. I had no vision. I absolutely hated real estate, and I was just lost and hopeless. So what I want to share with you guys today are going to be 3 things. Number 1 is how to build your VIP list. So I want to just share with you 3 simple things. If I can give you guys one tactic that can at least help you guys to walk away and get, I don't see why you couldn't get 1 deal per year. So if I can help you walk away with 12 more deals even before the end of this year, would that be helpful? Good. My only ask for you guys is share this with somebody else, okay? This is just something where it's giver's gain mentality. So I'm going to teach you about 3 things today. Number 1 is building your VIP list. Number 2 is reviewing your VIP list, because a lot of us lose it on number 1. We build one and we set it and forget it. I'm going to teach you how to review your VIP list, and I'm going to teach you how to clean it and manage it. So I'm going to learn those things today. So number 1, building a VIP list. So anybody know definition of a VIP, right? We all hear that word, very important person, right? But what is it beyond there? Because I'll share with you guys the first couple of years, I put about 50 people on a list, and that's all I did. And I had people that I thought I was going to be in relationship with, but I wasn't. Problem is when I would go to call them, which was maybe once every 6 months, no relationship, didn't know what to say, didn't bring value, and got frustrated because I'm like, I'm not getting any, not doing any business with these people. So here's the components of a VIP, okay? This is the secret sauce. What is a VIP? These are people that we are living life with at a high level, okay? So I'll use Dustin as an example again. I know Dustin's wife on a personal level. So when he has a birthday, his anniversaries, these are things that we celebrate together. I know his kids' names. I know what his kids are doing. I sponsor his kids' events. I know his dog's name. I know I know other stuff about Dustin that I shouldn't know, right? So literally, like I said, it's a family type of relationship. It is not surface level. So VIPs are people that we're living life with at a high level. So as you guys are thinking about who you want to put on this list of 40 people, the relational component, the key word is relation. It's not transactional, okay? So not only am I in relationship with all of these people, I know their spouses, I know their kids, I know their favorite things, and we literally are living life with them. Vacations, I've been on cruises with Dustin. Laura's one of my VIPs as well too. So our daughters, right? Our daughters have things in common. We have dance. We have this crazy life that we're both living together. We're living life together, right? So it's more than just a surface level relationship. So these are people that, for me, it's three things. You have to know, like, and trust them. So when we talk about relational business as opposed to transactional, people want to do business with who they know, they like, and they trust, okay? So those are the main components. Now, with relationships, when it comes to business, what do you guys think is the key component to a relational business, right? Let me say it this way. Anybody have, do you guys like working online leads at all? Conversion ratios of online leads. Maybe throw me out a conversion ratio. 3%, 5%, what do you guys think? 3%, let's say 3%, right? So that means out of every 100, you'll close potentially 3 transactions. With those types of deals, is the relational component there? Do they already know you prior to, right? So they don't know us prior to. Are they willing to refer us right off the bat? Not necessarily, because we haven't earned the right? So when this was brought to me, I thought, man, I'd really love to work with 40 people that when somebody asks them, who's your real estate agent? Who do you recommend for real estate? I know right off the bat they're going to say, not only do you need to work with Ryan, I'm going to force that to happen. Here's his number. I'm connecting you guys. You're only going to work with Ryan. I would rather be referred at that level. So I want a continuous flow of warm leads from relational relationships, okay? So anybody out there right now have a relation-based business? More than 50% of your business, Marcella? Awesome, love it, right? So I want to get to 100%. I'm not there yet, but that's my goal. So I'll share more of that with you guys, right? So one person out of all of us. So there's definitely something here, and it comes down to a focus of relational type of business. So I want to share with you guys the formula, okay? So there's about 100 different options on here. Let me know if I'm in your way, okay? So who could be your VIP? Well, here's 100 different options for you guys to choose. And I'll share this slide with Josh afterwards, or actually you already have it. So if you guys need a place to start, there's 2 options. You could start in your phone, because most of our true database, people that know, like, and trust us, are here. The second thing is we need to go find them. Talking about window cleaners, right? Love that idea, because now you're providing a resource for your buyers, or actually your sellers, right? You're going to get them and say, hey, part of my benefit, my value add to you as an agent is I'm going to go get your windows clean before you list the house. And your competition may not be doing that. From a buyer's perspective too, it's a great closing gift, right? So hey, congratulations. I want to make sure that you start off right on this journey. So we've got the windows cleaned, and here you go. That's a great way to lead into that. Developing these relationships where you have reciprocal business with business people is how I started my VIP list as well too, okay? So I knew I needed to get to 40. This is one place that you guys can start, okay? We all know a mortgage broker, but when you think of all of these, do you think you could find 40 people easily within here? Because a lot of these things are things that we're already doing, and we have exposure to these people, right? So maybe you play golf. We got a lot of golfers in here, right? So Golf Pro, I mean, there's just so many different ideas where I'm like, man, I wouldn't have even thought about that. So I wanted to at least start with giving you guys some ideas of where to start, okay? So your favorite people. Anybody in here run a team? Awesome, cool. So for me, I run a team as well too. I've got 7 people on my team, and every single one of my team members are my VIPs. Why is that? Because if I start with the people that I am literally in the battlefield with every single day, then if they are not on my VIP list and they're not the absolute priority in my life, how can I pour in my team to pour into my clients to pour into everybody else around me? So I have to start with the people that are closest to me, okay? So obviously my family is my team, my family is my VIPs, my team is my VIPs, friends, anybody that's gonna refer you guys first, that's who we have to start with on our list. Business people, referral partners. There's so much capability there, so. All right, coming back to here. So this is the VIP list, okay? This is the tracking form that we utilize. What you're gonna see at the top, here's what I do. I email them, so you'll get the recipe right here. So we email them, it's a video, mailed to them every single month. And I'll talk more about what we do with that. We call them monthly. We have a birthday program. These are all touch points, you guys. Easy ways. I think on the way down here, I had 3 VIP calls, 2 anniversaries today. Super easy way for me to say, hey, happy birthday, how's it going? If you need anything, I'm here, but I can pour more into them. And then invite them to a monthly happy hour. And happy hours can be a number of things too. So here's the information that we need, you guys, names. It's gonna sound stupid, but I can't tell you how many people that I coach right now that will give me a VIP list and they don't know the last name. Don't know the last name of the person that's on your VIP list. Are you kidding me? Or it's spelled wrong, right? So I don't know about you guys, but you know, for my name Ryan, it's pretty hard to obviously spell wrong. But if somebody calls me Brian as opposed to Ryan, I don't know if there's a relational component for me there, right? My wife's name is Candice, C-A-N-D-I-S. So anybody that I'm in relationship with, they actually know how to spell her name because they've asked. They pay attention to it. You know, you hear that age-old saying, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. This is where you can start, and it's crazy because it all starts with the names. It all starts with the names. So name, phone number, emails, birthdays, hobbies. Now here's the part that's the game changer, you guys. Families help this year. Do you track that? Most of us do not. How many of those did they refer to you? This is the tracking portion. So just like I was telling you about with leads, I took it from napkins and paper wrappers to actual forms, and I track this on a monthly basis. So I'll make sure we can get you guys a copy of this if any of you guys want to implement this, but this is the starting form. It's the VIP list, okay? Now here's the formula. Every single Monday, I have to have everything regimented. So in my calendar, I have an hour and a half. I call 10 people every single Monday from this list. The way that I do it is I take the first 10, call those the first week. Take the next 10, call them the next week. So basically over the course of a month, I'm calling 40 people. So what do we say, right? So Nate's been coached by me, right? This is something that we focus on right off the bat. How do we, for somebody that we don't know, because we may have somebody on our list that we're trying to get into a relationship with, how do you do that, right? So the big thing is you have to know what to say, because a lot of us, if we don't know what to say, just honestly, we don't make the calls. So I want to start with, Nate, if you don't mind me using you as an example, you know, you're somebody that I don't necessarily know, and I want to add you to my VIP list, okay? So the first thing is if I just added you to a VIP list and started calling you every Monday, would you think it would be kind of weird? Yeah. Awesome, right? So you'd see me calling and you're like, decline, you know, and there's just no way. That's what I did right off the bat, is I would just call people randomly and be like, hey, how's it going? Like, what'd you do over the weekend? They're like, I'm trying to work. Like, what do you want? And it just felt disingenuous and nothing really happened from it. Where it changed for me, and this is what Dustin and I do, this is what Laura and I do, is I had to set the expectation up front and actually decide to tell people this is what a VIP is, and this is what it means, and this is the benefit to you. So we call it an expectation meeting for me, is if you're gonna be my VIP, I first wanna make sure you're okay with it. And I'm gonna tell you, you know, Nate, I've got this awesome program, and there's only 40 people that are on it, and listen, you and I, like, I've heard so many great things about you. I can't believe you and I are not doing business together, and I want to change that. So I have this group of people called my VIPs, and the main thing is I want to be in relationship with you. I want to see how I can pour into your business this year, and I want to help you not only meet but exceed your goals and bring value to you. And if that's something where you're like, that sounds great, I want to do that, we talk about the expectations. And one of the biggest expectations for me, or else this is really, it's a social club, is I'm gonna need your help on, I need two great referrals this year. Buyer, seller, one of each, 2, and feel free to exceed those. But before I ask for that, I'm gonna start with asking you, Nate, what are your goals this year, right? Yeah. What's your goals? What's your income goals? What's your business goals? What's your family goals, right? So a lot of you guys are on social. I see so much great content. Do we actually pour into, that's pouring into the masses. Do we pour into anybody at more than a surface level where we really, really show them that, hey, I care about you and your family, and I'm listening and I'm asking questions, I'm engaged. That's what we do with our VIPs. So number one is you have to set the expectation. You have to tell them what it is to be a VIP, why you're going to be calling them, why you're going to be sending them these gifts, and then you'll see some of the forms that we do to help with that. But we have to tell them why, but also have to get their approval. Now we've set expectations, so every month, all I'm doing is delivering on my promises, right? So that's where it comes from being unintentional to absolutely intentional. I want 40 people that I'm pouring into so much, they can't help but feel obligated to pour back into me at a high level and my family. So that's the intention. So I want to give you guys an overview of what we do. So my Monday script looks like this. There's 5 points to a great VIP call. Number one is I have to remind them that they are my VIP. So Dustin gets this a lot and he understands it. But I'm like, I got to remind Dustin, hey, you are still a VIP in my life. And I may say it in a different way, like, hey, how's my VIP doing? Hey, buddy, you know, whatever it is, it just has to be real, you guys. What people don't want is for us to call and say, hey, it's Ryan, it's Monday, VIP day. You know, it just seems robotic and unauthentic. They're just like, you're checking a box, Ryan. And that's how I used to do it. So you have to remind them that they're a VIP. You have to remind them why they're a VIP. So for me, it's always something different. So, you know, Dustin, one of the coolest things about our relationship, even yesterday, is I love his sense of humor, but I love that he's one of the people in my life that's willing to tell me the truth. Even when it may be uncomfortable, he will always hold me accountable and tell me the truth when I need to hear it, just like my brother does, just like my dad does. This circle of people, this board of directors in my life, Stephen's one of those people as well too. We can have real conversations. That's what I want to do, is remind Dustin, that's why you're my VIP. I love that you always hold me accountable. I love that you love your family. That's huge to me too. So something that we can relate on. So number one, you're my VIP. Number two, here's why you're my VIP. But make sure it's always something different. You don't want to use the same thing every time. Number three, weave in something personal. So if I noticed that, you know, with Nate, if I noticed that maybe he, went to a Laker game over the weekend, ask an engaging question about that. Hey, how was the game? What'd you think? You know, how did this guy play? I'd want to go a couple questions deep in that, because it actually shows that we're engaged and that I care, right? So you want to weave in something personal that makes them feel like you actually are engaged. So that's number three. Number four, here's the big one, you guys. This is where we miss it. I want to find a need, because if I can find a need, I can fill a need. And if I find a need and fill a need, then I can also take a deposit, okay? That's the goal for me. So if I can pour into enough people. So number four is, how can I help you today? So often that's what I'll ask Dustin. Hey, what do you need today? And usually I know that answer. Give me a loan. Give me a buyer. I can't make interest rates go down, but I'll try. So really that's what it is what can I do for you today? What can I do for you today? And it's not always business related. So that's the main thing, is I need to find a way to make deposits so I can earn a withdrawal. And the last thing, and this is if and only if the timing is right and if I've earned it, then I have to reinforce to Dustin, hey, I need your help, buddy, right? I am looking for somebody this week. We're low on buyer clients, and I know that you're going to be out on the baseball field this week. So if you're talking to the coach, the players, if you hear anybody that screams anything along the lines of renting, for sale by owner, I have to plant the seeds with all the people in my life. You guys, including my wife, I have to remind my wife that I'm in real estate. When I do that, it's crazy. It's that whole reticular activator thing, you know? You may drive by a white Tesla, next thing you know, you're driving by and you're like, oh my gosh, there's 500 white Teslas. Everybody's got a white Tesla, right? It's the same thing. So once again, you are my VIP. Here's why you're my VIP. Weaving in something personal, it takes out the relational component. How can I help you today? And here, can you help? I need your help. You guys, the biggest thing that we forget to do is we don't want to ask for help. We pour into people and then we don't ask them for help. And the last time I checked, real estate is still a sales industry, correct? People, if I don't ask, then my competition will. And all of you guys are consummate professionals. So if we're not helping them, is it okay that our competition does? Are we really taking the best care of people that we know if they're not getting us? Absolutely not. So it's our duty to tell them that, okay? So let me give some steps on how to wow your VIPs. So we just did this. So this is steps on expectations, telling them what is a VIP, why we're calling. We also do gifting. We invite them to happy hours. We're pouring into their life and business. So we'll go over that a little bit more. These are the things that I love. These are the steps of how to wow your VIPs. So the number one form that we have is called an All About You form. And the way that this is the relationship form for me. So the All About You form is going to have their name, their phone number, their address. It's going to have all the pertinent information that we need for our CRMs, right? So we do need all that information, but there's going to be some interesting questions on here. So one of the questions that we ask is like, hey, what's your favorite cookie? And it seems like it may be something small and insignificant, but I'll tell you, I can't tell you how many sellers that we've had where they have a rough appraisal. We have to remember that moving is a very stressful process. And if any of you guys forget about that, I want you to put your house up for sale and go through the process right now because it's a nightmare. Okay, so it is amazing what a $20 box of cookies will do. But here's the thing. If I send you cookies and you're sharing them with your kids and it's, peanut butter, peanut cookies, something like that, and we got an allergy, then is that going to be considered something that's intentional and it's taken well, or is it going to go into the trash can, right? But if I know your favorite cookie, if it comes at the right time, if there's a card and a phone call that says, hey, listen, I know that this is going to be, it's turbulent, but I want to make sure that you know that I'm thinking about you and you're not going through this alone. Will a $20 box of cookies go a long way? Absolutely, right? Even more so, what if you deliver them at the office? They're at the office, they get a box of cookies. First thing they're going to do is tell everybody. They're like, oh, where'd you get this box of cookies? Well, my realtor gave them to me. Oh my gosh, you need to use you need to use my realtor, and it just creates conversation. But once again, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So All About You form is going to have these components. There's a business part to the All About You form. One of the questions that we ask: do you have a CPA? Do you have a financial planner? Do you have an accountant? Whatever that may be, right? We refer a lot of business partners. Do you have a termite guy? Do you have a dog walker? Whatever it may be. I choose, we have about 5 of them that we ask. One's a CPA, one's a lender, obviously. And here's what it does, is it gives me opportunities to refer my referral partners that are my other VIPs. So if I can get a referral for Dustin as a lender, is that something where now we've created, I have found a need, I filled a need. Have I earned the right to say, hey, Dustin, how did you like working with Nate? Right? So once that happens, if it's a great experience, now I've earned the right to say, hey, Dustin, I need to find more Nates. Can you help me find more Nates? Right? So All About You form is huge. This form has to be kept updated and audited because favorite things are going to change. But we've got favorite coffee. We've got, alcohol, non-alcohol. Worst thing you can do, especially for somebody like me that's been sober for almost 18 years, is send me a bottle of wine. I'm going to throw it away or give it to Dustin.
Or you're going to give it to Candace, let's be honest.
Or give it to, I'll give it to Candace. Yeah, she'll take it. So number 2, update status calls on the VIP referrals, right? Is anybody currently, you get a referral, so, once again, using Dustin just to keep it simple, Dustin sends me a client. Any of you guys send out a referral to somebody and never hear from them again? Yeah. Yeah. Good. Well, at least somebody is doing it right, because I don't know about you guys. I send out referrals and I don't hear a thing. And I think that's one of the worst things that we can do, is we don't give them honor when they refer. Like, oh my gosh, to me, if somebody sends me a referral, it is the biggest deal out there. And I'm going to recognize it. I'm going to recognize it publicly. And I'm going to make sure that they understand how huge that is for me. But the other big thing is I am going to update them throughout the process and let them know, hey, we've connected. Thank you so much. Everything is going great. And make sure that they understand that we're going to take great care of their clients, right? Or whoever they're referring. Usually it's family members, coworkers, anything like that. Over the top thank you for the referral, right? That's a big part of that. Gifting program. So we have to have a gifting program in place. It doesn't have to be big, but whatever that is, it has to be defined, okay? So I'll give you guys my secret for referrals is I reward the behavior. Every single time. You send me a referral, whether it closes or not, you're going to get a gift, and it's usually, it can be something as small as a $10 Starbucks card, but it's something I want to reward the behavior. I do this with my team as well too. Public recognition for sending you a referral. This can be done on social. This can be done in a Facebook group. This can be done on BombBomb. So there has to be some sort of public recognition in the core, which is our coaching program. Every 6 months they do a summit. Everybody that refers a client to the core, they have a bag of swag, they bring them up on stage, they give them public recognition. Well, guess what it does? Every time, if I didn't send a referral, I'm thinking, dang it, I gotta go find somebody because I want whatever's in that stupid bag. And it's usually something small, but it's just, you want what's in the bag. You want the gift, right? So public recognition is huge. Adding VIPs to your service vendor list. If you guys look at my, our listing and buyer presentations, I have an exclusive list of VIP businesses. You can't pay to be on the list. You have to earn your right to be on the list. And it's something that we audit monthly. So if you're not adding the level of service that I demand, you will come off the list and I will add the next people on. So it is we're building a bench with that list. That is a value add that you can tell these VIPs is, hey, Nate, I know that you're a financial planner. I'm not loving the one that I've got. And I want to do business with you and I. And my intent is if you and I can grow into that relationship, I want to put you in front of all of my clients. We've got over 1,500 past clients. We close 150 transactions a year. Is that something that would be beneficial to you?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Perfect, right? So that's my value add. VIP calls every single Monday. Once again, that's a value add. That's a wow that we do. Reminding them, but the main key on the VIP calls, remember, is find a need, fill a need. How can I help you today? Events. A lot of us are really good at events, right? So happy hours, client events, there's so many different ways to do these, but how I wow my VIPs is I have an exclusive event just for VIPs. This is literally just to celebrate you guys, right? Because the biggest connection point for a lot of my VIPs is a lot of them are business people as well too, is I want to connect them with other good people. So Nate, you need to meet Dustin. Dustin, you need to meet Laura. I want to make sure I'm connecting all of my people so that they can make connections together and I can expand. And I'm just literally the connector in that thing. So I love also on my events to do strategic events. I want smaller rather than bigger in most cases because it's a lot easier for me to connect a few people together that are like-minded as opposed to putting 100 people in a room and making sure, you just can't get enough connection there. So I like to do smaller events that are more intentional. At your home. How many of you guys are doing events at your home? It's game changer, you guys. I don't care if you have a 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment. Open up your homes. Do not be embarrassed about what you have. It is opening up your home. It is sharing a meal. It is breaking bread. It's letting them see you and all of your, for me, I've got 4 kids. I heard a couple of you guys talking about kids, right? For a while, I'm like, oh, I'm embarrassed. My kids are kind of messy. They're, toddlers, whatever it may be. I don't care anymore. Now we've realized that they relate to us on that level. We can have surface level conversations. They don't see me just in a business environment. They get to see me in where I'm most comfortable. So relating on that level, have events at your home or invite, do dinners and referring them. I mean, that seems like it's simple, but we don't. So once again, going back to my referral form, the VIP form, I have to look at as well too, am I being a good partner to Dustin? And we track it. So Dustin, what's our best year? How many referrals did we do together in our best year?
We had 73 closings.
Okay, that's right. 73 closings together, right? We won't talk about last year or the year before, but we always just kind of hang our hat on 73.
13 last year.
So,
We'll talk about it. It's okay.
okay. Well, now it's out there, right? But the thing is do we know the numbers? Do we track the numbers? Do we talk about the numbers, right? So I need to make sure that my job is to refer Dustin first and foremost. My job is to make sure that with Laura, with any of my business partners, what am I doing to add value to you? If I'm focused on that, then I can get everything that I need, okay? So, being a connector. One other tactic I want to give you guys, it's called a buddy lunch. So if I have 40 people that are on my VIP list, I want to take one person and find somebody that they don't know. I will invite them both to lunch and say, Joe, you need to know Stacy. I want to connect them and be there as a part of that. Connect them. I know it's people that will help. So maybe it's an insurance person that connect with a lender, whatever it may be. But we call it a buddy lunch. That's a game changer, you guys. So setting up something where you can be a catalyst. I follow up afterwards and find out, hey, how was your lunch with Stacy, right? It's good, you guys were able to connect and get some more business out of that. Listen, I need some introductions now too. Who else do you know that I can get you guys connected with? It's just asking, who do you know that I need to know? Who do you know that I need to know? So other thing that I will do too is I'll take one of my existing people and say, I need you to bring somebody I don't know, right? So I'm looking for another CPA right now. Who do you know or who does your family know or anybody that you know? I just need somebody good, and 50% of the time I'll get, I don't know anybody, and I'll say that's fine. I'm going to keep checking with you. So I'll check in with you once a month, and when you find somebody, can you set us up, and I'll still plant that seed, okay? So it's a great way to do that. Ford Script. Any of you guys familiar with Ford? That's the only thing that I knew prior to. So Ford, family, occupation, recreation, dreams. I've heard FROG, I've heard a bunch of different acronyms. We stick with Ford. But easy way to call on a Monday. The reason why we call on Mondays, you guys know why we call on Mondays? Because most of the activity happens over the weekend, right? So if I'm calling you on Monday, then I can find out, how's your weekend? What'd you guys do? Did you work? Did you play? How was your vacation? How was your trip? Whatever that was, gives me more information that I can put where? On my list. My list goes to my assistant, goes into our CRM, so that literally, because I can't remember what I had for lunch yesterday, but as long as I get it documented into our CRM strategically, when I call again the next month, then I can follow up and say, hey, I know that you guys were doing this. How did it go? I'm following up on the conversations. They're like, oh my gosh, how do you remember that? Well, I'm not smart enough to do it. I just have somebody that's smart enough to put it in, right? So we track all of that. Ford Script is huge. Game changer for Mondays, okay? It's one of those topics. Could be one of those topics. What's going on with your kids? Everybody loves to talk about their kids, including me. There's always something going on in my life with that. So that's an easy way to connect with me. That's honestly what worked with Dustin, is he went after that. So here's some tactics to connect. Number one is the All About You form. We just talked about that. Number two is doing happy hours. If you can't do them monthly, do them quarterly. And if you cannot, if you can't afford them right now, leverage them out with a partner. Find a great partner that wants to do them, that's willing to connect with you guys and help invest in your business. Do one a year until you can get to quarterly, until you can get to monthly, okay?
Sorry, for the happy hour, is it like at a specific location?
Absolutely. Same location, same. It can be the same thing every time. 2 drink tickets.
One appetizer for 3 people.
So 2 well drinks for anybody that couldn't hear that. So it's 2 well drinks, 1 appetizer per person. 3 appetizers?
1 appetizer for 3.
Gonna say you're very generous. So
I'm not that nice.
I know you're a lender, so but it's
Are you hiring the same people every single time?
absolutely. Well, so we do strategic ones. I'll do a VIP only happy hour. So sometimes I will also sprinkle in some of my past clients so I can get them access. So I have 400 favorite past clients, but it's a whole separate class. But absolutely. The main thing is, you guys, is you don't want to put 400 people in a room. I like a less is more mentality. I want to do about 20 at a time. And just make sure that these are people I want to be in relationship with, that I'm enhancing a relationship with. Sometimes I'm done with Dustin, and I'll say, hey, why don't you invite like 5 realtors that you're trying to work with, and let me be a good partner and help tell them about my experience with you. Is that beneficial to you?
He's trying to recruit.
Right. Right. Yeah. Then I'll send them somewhere else. But the main thing is I want to look for those opportunities. So keep it small, keep it simple. Whatever you do, just create a budget for it. Do the same thing and have it the same. Like same time, same place, same month, whatever that is. So when you're calling on Monday, then you're inviting these people to a happy hour. You're calling with actual intent. Hey, I know I missed you last time. I'd love to see you this time. Bring a friend, right? So great way to see people is going to be at these happy hours as well too. We also do what's called a letter of the heart, and we do what's called an evidence of success. So a lot of you guys do farming, yeah? Postcards, farming, circle prospecting, all of that. We do something that's called a letter of the heart. And people care about, they know that we sell houses, right? So if I just send you guys, if I spam your mailboxes with, look at what Ryan McKee sold, just listed, just sold, that's great. They already know that we do real estate. What they forget is I am also somebody that's a very flawed individual that's living life. So I love this letter of the heart because every month I send them a letter with something that I've learned, like a lesson that I've learned, something that somebody's taught me, a pain in my life. So one of the biggest pains that I had in my life, my absolute best letter of the heart, was December. It was just going into COVID. Best time, once again, as well, too. Right prior to COVID, my youngest daughter was diagnosed with type 1 diabetic. We know nothing about type 1 diabetes. All we know is we almost lost her. So I wrote a very real story about that and literally had people calling me off the hook. And I have random people that I hadn't talked to in years that were calling me, hey, how's Taylor doing? How's your daughter doing? Every time now when I call. So once again, people know us as realtors. They don't know us as real people. You want to connect, right? We're talking about relational business. People want to know the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I talk about more of my failures than anything. The evidence of success is what reinforces to them, Here's a review. Here's a great client review that we got. You know, we helped this many families this month. It can be showcasing a local business partner, right? Maybe there's a local cookie shop that's one of your new VIPs that you want to promote. Put that on the back of a card, right? So we do evidence of success, letter of the heart. They're getting 12 pieces of mail. So you could do 12 of each, or you could do 6 of each. But every single one goes out monthly, okay? So evidence of success, letter of the heart. The other big thing that we do, there's power in a handwritten card. Can you guys attest to that? Right? So, you know, we do it with birthdays, we do it with anniversaries. But the other big thing I do is every single seller, every single buyer, every single relationship type call that I have gets a handwritten card. And I'm going to weave in something personal to that as well, too, right? It's a game changer, you guys. So there you go, right? I save them on my wall, right? I save those in voicemails. I have some impactful voicemails that I've saved. But literally, there's just something magical about that. And I'm telling you, I don't care what your handwriting looks like. I get some of the worst ones. One of my favorite ones is from Rick Ruby, the owner of the Core. And his handwriting is atrocious, right? But it's just the fact for him, it was what he said in that card. And it was just something that was so impactful to me that literally I'm like, I'm saving this forever. I'm gonna look at this whenever I, you know, need to get that pick me up. So handwritten cards can go a long way, you guys. We forget about that. We send text messages, we do these impersonal things, but there's so much magic to a handwritten card. And then gifting, that's another way to connect. It doesn't have to be anything big. So we have a birthday program, we have an anniversary program. Once again, we do the gifting. So with all of this, if you have 10 different ways that you guys can find ways to be in better relationship with your VIPs. We've talked about starting the list. We talked about who to add to the list. This is how to go deeper with the list, okay? Now I want to share with you guys what we're doing to review it. This is an example of our All About You form, okay? All of this, you guys see some components that you would potentially need to review? Yeah. Obviously, name, right? That's not going to necessarily change, but occupations can change. Best phone number can change. Emails can change. I'll share you guys an absolute terrible story. I'm listing a home here. Just went on the appointment, and I have one of my favorite past clients. Sold them a couple homes. I've watched their kids grow up. They just lost their 7-year-old son. Just lost their 7-year-old son. You guys, they're devastated. So what am I doing right now? Literally is finding ways to not be a salesperson at all and just to send an occasional text message, whatever. Hey guys, I'm thinking about you. I'll send some like a Bible verse or something just to let them know, hey, I'm here for you, right? Lost their son, lost their grandmother the same week, right? So you guys, life is happening. We forget that this is why, you know, our clients, once again, I mean, during COVID, how many of us were actually more focused on how can I serve you during COVID as opposed to, hey, you got any transactions? Right? So this form, once again, I have to alter my All About You form for this client because unfortunately, I do not want to send a card or any kind of a gift for their son, Trey. I have to be respectful for that. Now, I'm going to do something. It's not my forte, but my wife is really good on loving and gifting people, so I've delegated that. But we're going to send something to show them respect, right? This is the game changer on this form, you guys. We talked about simple things like pets. For pets can be like kids for a lot of people, right? We have to know that. So favorite cookies, favorite sports teams, right? Dustin's taking me to Laker games and he hates the Lakers, but he knows I love them. So we've had a lot of fun times with that. So you guys will see some... What's that?
I think you mean we've been to Laker games together.
That's right. That's right. You know what I mean. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we got to stay RESPA compliant here. We've showed up at the same time. So these are all the things that we have on the All About You list, but just so you guys can see, one of the things that we put at the top here is as one of Ryan's valued VIPs, I'm reinforcing what that is. We're asking them to help with that. So when I supply this form too, I'm going to say, Nate, obviously you know that you're my VIP, but when I want to gift you and love on you, but I want to make sure I'm sending you the right things that you actually like. So they know that there's a what's in it for me type of mentality, okay? So that's copy of the All About You form. We'll talk about cleaning it up, but before I get to that, there was one big thing I want to talk about with reviewing your list. Okay, so going back to the VIP list, the 40-person list, we have 3 components to it, A's, B's, and C's. So when you guys create your list, I want you to rank everybody. And here's the formula we have. A is 2 deals or more. Because my goal is I want 40 people that are all A's. 40 people that can commit to giving me 2 deals, and I'll show you guys the value of that. So an A is 2 deals or more, a B is 1, and a C is 0. Because here's the thing, if you guys have a 40-person VIP list and you have 39 C's and 1 A, what's our goal? We need to start top grading. We need to move our C's to B's. We need to move our B's to A's. My goal is 40 people that can commit to sending me 2 deals per month. So that's a simple way to do it. Okay. This is the goal. So I looked at this, you guys. We have, in the core, we have about 5 pillars of business. So we have VIPs, we have past clients, we have our database, which is going to be current clients, past clients, referrals, we have internet, we have sign calls, we have all of these different things. My goal is 40% of my business is going to come from my VIPs. So I said, okay, how can I monetize that? 40 people, what does that look like? And this is based off of a $500,000 price point. So this is very, very, I mean, we can't even find anything for 500 grand right now. So imagine if you had 40 people that said, I'm going to send you 2 transactions. That's it, 2 transactions per month. So ultimately at the end of the year, you're going to have 80 transactions. $500,000, let's say average, you know, you'll net 12.5, just an average, right? 12.5 times 80, $1 million. $1 million. Would you need any other pillars of business? Because we could talk about past clients too, and I can get you to 1.7. But if you just made anybody in here netted $1 million, there's your formula. Find 40 people, do these things, love on them, get them to commit to giving you 2 transactions, and I promise you, you'll probably net even more than that. Unless we're selling 80 condos. But this will get you there. You guys, it's proven formula. It's math. It's math. Our problem is we get distracted, okay? So cleaning your list. Let me go back to that. I don't know if I have a slide on it. No. Go back here. Okay. All right, well, cleaning your list. Let me go back to this. So I'm almost done here, and I want to get you guys some Q&A. So number one thing is every single month. A lot of people ask me how often I review my list. Every single month. When it comes in, I am making sure that all 40 of those people are still who I want, okay? So separate thing I do is every Friday, I am prospecting for basically my bench. So if somebody falls off, I am moving somebody up. I've got a bench of 150 people that I'm prospecting right now, every single Friday. So I want to make sure I am dialed in and all of my people deserve to be on my list. So look to top grade your bench every single every single Friday. Other places that you guys can go to meet VIPs right now, if you want to go out on the field, Chamber, Rotary, networking events, buddy lunches like we talked about. I ask my VIPs, I ask Laura and Dustin all the time, who do you guys know this week that I need to know? I know you met new people, right? So Chamber, Rotary, networking events, buddy lunches, and then we did a program in the core called the 10 by 10. So basically we're prospecting 10 people for 10 weeks, and we have a system. Like we call them so many times, we send them videos, handwritten cards, gifting. That's what we're doing right now too, is we're chasing attorneys. I'm chasing other different business people to try to fill all the pillars of business what I want to work with. I want to work with more attorneys right now, so that's what we're going after, okay? Other big thing. I coach a lot of people. Their VIP list is absolutely, it's rare to see where it's completely filled out. So my intent every single Wednesday or every single Monday when I call these people, if I don't have their wedding anniversaries, I need my assistant makes sure that it's highlighted. If I don't get that, I've got a consequence. So she's like, hey, you need to find out what Chris's birthday is. So if I call Chris and I fail to get your birthday, I got a consequence when I get back. But you putting accountability behind it to get the information that we need. What good is a list where we don't have the right data, right? So that's the main goal, is you want to get all of the data filled out on these lists. And then, last thing is the list, you guys, is, for me, my Monday calls are mandatory. So I'll give you an example. This Monday, I had a 45-minute VIP call, and I had an hour to call 10 people. So I had a 45-minute VIP call because sometimes I have to go a little bit deeper, which means I couldn't make about 8 calls. I made 3 calls on the way here. Every single day, I've been making it up. My 10 calls get made every single Monday, regardless, no matter what. It's non-negotiable in my life and in my schedule. Is every aspect of your guys' business based off of that? Is it non-negotiable? I have blocks on my schedule. Things get checked off, but they can get moved, but they don't get deleted, right? So you have to take this. If you want to do this program and you want to say that it works, I guarantee you guys, this is a formula that works if you do it, okay? So cleaning your VIP list is going to be important. We just talked about the value of a VIP list. And I want to make sure that there's so many components of this that I can answer some questions for you guys. Once again, this is the formula with one pillar of business for $1 million net. Super easy in this. So if you want to get to 80 transactions, this is the easiest way to do it. You guys, trust me, I've searched every other way. So number one, we've gone over what's a VIP and all the components. We've gone over how to review your list and what to track. And we talked about how to clean up your list and maximize efficiency. So once again, it's all about, for me, it's about saving time, making money. I want to be profitable. And I want to do business with people I know, like, and trust, okay? So I'm hoping you guys were able to take away something that you can implement immediately. And perfect, that should be the end of my slides. What questions can I answer for you guys? Any specific questions, anything that I'm missing from my other two experts? Yes?
And when they ask a question, just repeat it so that the
Perfect.
stream could hear it.
Cool.
First question, Ryan, is on the 10 calls every Monday, if you aren't getting in touch with somebody, what does that voicemail look like? Are you leaving one?
Absolutely, great question. So I wish I had something I can play it with. I've got, like I said, I save handwritten cards and I save voicemails. So the 5 components of the phone call, I will leave on the voicemail. So it would be something along the line of no matter what, I do leave 2 components of it. I'll leave the voicemail, but if Dustin calls me back and I'm going through my calls, I will not call him back immediately because I'll get off. Once again, I have to be intentional with what I'm doing. So a lot of the struggle that we have, somebody calls back and we feel like we need to answer it, we don't make the rest of our calls. So if I do leave a voicemail, it's gonna be along those lines of, oh my gosh, Dustin, it's Monday. Man, I hope you're killing it out there today. You know, I just want to remind you, like, I'm sitting back here thinking how grateful I am that you're a VIP in my life. And I was thinking about today, the year that we did 73 transactions, and even though that we're not anywhere close to that, you and I are going to get there next year. So we need to meet for coffee because I am getting super pissed off that we aren't there yet. So how are we going to figure this out? Hey, listen, I saw that Landon had a baseball game, right? I know it's Ethan, but let's say it's Landon, right? So I will weave in something with his kids. I will absolutely say, Dustin, I need you to let me know this week if there's anything I can do for you. And the last thing is I will remind Dustin, hey, my team loves working with you, and we're looking to still break records this year. I know you're looking for me, but I'm going to give you that gentle reminder that, hey, man, I need 2 more people this week. Let me know if you hear anybody. Done, right? And it's going to be different for every component, but we just have to do those 5 components. Great question. And sorry, so for anybody that couldn't hear too, those were the components. If we don't get somebody on the phone call, that's an example of a voicemail that we would leave. And I always want to do something to invoke them to call or invite them to something. Hey, it's been weeks since we've had coffee. Let's get something in the schedule. Another game changer that I've done is a lot of the people that I want to, it's really hard to manage 40 people. I will have Giselle, my assistant, will pre-schedule, we're doing it with phone calls right now, both myself and with Dustin and Laura. We just pre-schedule appointments. Hey, I need to see you face to face. So rather than reinventing the wheel, I'm just gonna have Giselle get with your people. Let's just schedule once a month. So then, boom, I'm checking the box. We're getting face to face. There's just something magic about being belly to belly with somebody. Any other questions I can answer for you guys, or anything I'm missing?
How long, when you started, how long did it take you to build that VIP list? How much did you trip over yourself?
A lot. So, yeah, I've had 80, you guys. I've had 80, and it's a nightmare, right? So, truth be told, when it was my first assignment was to get from 0 to 40. I filled up a list with all the wrong people just to check a box and fill a list.
How many years did it take you to get at least half the right people
So,
on that list?
2018 is when I joined the Corps. My list did not get dialed in until about last year. And it's when I went from 0 to 80 down to 60. Now it's down to 40. And 40 is a manageable number for me because I can be in a deep relationship with 40 people. I just can't do it with 80.
So I'm just going to add to that because I know where she's going with this. I have 0 on my VIP list. I've sat in here and I've listened to you today.
Yes.
And the idea of writing down 40 names, I feel like I'm in the same spot that you were at. So today I start with 5. Today I
Yes.
start with 10. What is the assignment leaving here to start the process of creating a VIP list? What do you want to see out of it?
I want to see you get from 0 to 10 as quickly as possible. All of you guys should be in relationship with 10 people. It could be mom, dad, brother, sister, aunt, uncle, family. It can be people that are in your sphere. So if you have kids, the main thing is who are you living life with that's not on your list? We have to start with that, identify those people. But if you, great question and great point. You don't want to go from 0 to 40 unless you just it can do it organically. But start with 0 and go from 0 to 5. Make your goal to add 1 or 2 a week until you get to 40. But here's the thing, don't stop. There's a lot of people that will add 10 and they stop prospecting.
So if I start with 10 today, I'm gonna make 2 or 3 phone calls every Monday to keep on the habit of being every single Monday rather than all 10 one week and then I'm falling off for the next 5 weeks?
Absolutely. Yeah. You want to prospect until you can build enough to call. So if you don't have 10 to call, then you want to start prospecting and asking the people you're already in relationship with. I've had Nate and Matt do this before too. I'm like, hey, start calling other people that you guys know, right? And say, who do you know that I need to know? Can I get an introduction? Can we meet for coffee? You know, do you have a good this? Do you have a good that? That's a good place to start.
Have you gone to events? Oh, go ahead.
No, so you're focused on those 40 people, right? What happens with your other clients? 'Cause I'm sure you have tons more.
Yes.
How are you nurturing them at all?
Yeah, so great question as well too. So the question is, how am I nurturing other clients outside of my VIP list? My VIPs are a specific component that I focus on mostly Mondays, but if you asked like Dustin and Laura, we're in communication every couple days. It's not like that with all of them, but my VIPs are not just people I do business with or have done business with, right? So they're not necessarily past clients. I mean, one of them's a pastor of my church. He's just super influential, right? He's somebody that also just pours into me and makes me a better man. There's a transactional component there, but that's not my primary intent. Tuesdays, I do status updates. So like we said, we have theme days. Wednesdays, we call leads. Thursdays, I call my past clients. And like I said, that's a whole other course. If you guys want training on that, May in Orlando, come visit us, come hang with us at the summit. I am literally teaching for 15 minutes on the stage on past clients. And I'm telling you, that's another $1 million right there. But we call 400 past clients. So we divvy that up, but we call all of our past clients on Thursdays. And then I am prospecting, it's Wales channel accounts. I'm prospecting for new VIPs or somebody that may not have the relational component, but I like doing business with them, but maybe we just don't click. Those are people I call on Friday. Like I said, I have 150 people there. There's so much business, you can't even, I mean, I'd have to hire a 30-person team if I was literally doing this 100%.
You calling, you don't have your assistant call, it's actually you.
It's me, yeah, because they're going to be in relationship with me. They can't, I mean, if they've developed a relationship with my team and not with me first. Now, I want it to flow downhill. So like Dustin does have, you know, relationships with other members of my team, but if we're not number one, it's vice versa. I've failed it, so yeah. And it's one of those things where if you do it, like right now, I'd say I'm like hopefully 50%. I used to be like 30%. If I can get this to 80%, it's crazy to think of what it would be, so yeah.
Keep the conversation like so that people aren't like, oh, it's Monday, he's just calling me again to ask for business.
Absolutely. So keep in mind, with 40 people, they're getting a call once a month.
Okay.
So I am continuing a conversation, or I'm asking a new question, or I'm following up on something. But that's the main thing, is it has to be organic. And a lot of the times, we're our own worst enemy. And we're like, they don't want to hear from me. I just called them a month ago, right? But the problem is it's once again, like when I send out these letter of the hearts, I'm like, oh, this is stupid. They're probably going to throw it away. I get the most calls off of those ones. So it's just, you just do it. You just do it. If these are people that have already said at the beginning, Stephen, I know you're going to call me once a month because you've already told me you are, and I'm raising my hand to say that's cool. All we're doing is we're delivering on our promise, right? Yeah. And if I called you once a month to say, Stephen, like, what can I do to pour into your life, your business, anything that you need, right? Anybody to me that would call and be like, Ryan, like, you're unvaluable. I don't need you. I'm okay with that. You know, I can take that. Then there's 150 other people that are wanting to go up and be put on that list.
Yeah, that was kind of my question is, you know, how you said you have people like on the bench essentially. So
Right.
who are you like taking off of your VIP list? Is if they're not performing, they're not after so many months, not
Yeah.
getting referrals, like how do you take them off and cipher through that?
Yeah, you know, you have to run it like a business. So for me, there's a relational component. So if I'm calling somebody every single Monday and they're sending me to voicemail, never hear from them, obviously it's a one-way street. Every relationship has to be bi-mutual. So they have to, you know, it has to be something where we're having those types of conversations. There's engagement, there's growth, we're continuing on. But then if we're not leading to business, after a couple months of growing the relationship, I'm going to start asking them if it's a business partner. Because I already know I'm pouring into it. I'm fully committed. So if I'm sending them referrals 3 months in, I'm going to start asking them like, hey, So I know I sent you the Smith family. How were they? Were they good? Is there anything I need to change? Did I do anything wrong with them? Usually what I get is like, they were great. I love them. Looking for more people like them. I already know I planted those seeds, so now it's time for me to start setting expectations on the deposit. Hey, listen, this month I need you to find me somebody. And then if it's just still like, oh, I'll get you somebody next month, and they're just a taker, not the right people. Yeah, they would just go on a different list. They just can't be a VIP. I'm just very clear on what the components are for a VIP.
How many people from the 40 are realtors that you have on your VIP? Or do you have any?
Lots of realtors. You know why? And a lot of them are from out of state within my coaching program because we support each other. They're great. Yeah.
So if you're taking somebody off of your list, are you telling them?
Uh,
How do you do that?
Usually before that happens, they've been told. We've had conversations. Because in a relationship, if something's going wrong, it's my job to communicate that properly. I would fail them because it's the same thing with my team. If I hire somebody on and they don't succeed on my team, it's because I've failed them as a leader. So I have to be able to one, set the expectations. Another thing for a good leader is you're going to deliver, you're going to ask questions. Hey, I know that we haven't gotten any referrals yet. What am I doing wrong? Because a lot of the times I haven't told them the right way to refer me. Or I'm not asking, right? So I can't be like, Dustin, you're a bad referral partner. You haven't sent me anybody, and I haven't conveyed exactly what I'm looking for or audited that conversation. So that's one of the things that Dustin and I spoke about at the last summit was a realtor-lender relationship. And the number one component was having hard conversations. So anybody that I'm in relationship with, would you say that every relationship that you guys have, there's good, there's bad? You know, there's good conflict, there's healthy conflict. Like, you know, I know with my family, like my wife, my kids, there's always something, but we all love each other. It's the same thing with these relationships. We truly want the best for each other. Sometimes it's just like there's not a capacity to refer. I may still even keep somebody on that's super influential that can refer me to other people, and they haven't necessarily sent me referrals, but the relationship is so strong. But that's what you have to look at is, do I have 40 people? This is my starting lineup. Are these the best 40 people in my life that help me reach this goal? That's literally all I'm looking for.
I think, Ryan, there's a couple of qualifications that will help. Number one is you have to like the person that you're calling. If you don't want to call this person or this person is rude to you or you feel like they belittle you in any capacity or like they're treating you like you're a salesperson that you're not offering something in return to them, it's probably not a good fit, okay? Secondary piece is they have to be someone of influence. So I love that you said a pastor. I love people, anybody who I look at as financially successful that other people would go to them. These are the kind of people that you want to be drawn to because anybody who seeks out advice from somebody else, if they're an advisor to anyone, then they have an ability to be able to refer me to somebody.
That's right.
In all of our own times as we're building our own wealth, we're all seeking out the counsel of people who are in front of us. So why wouldn't I want those people to be who are on my VIP list? If they have that influence for me, then yeah, that person right there has the ability to refer me as we're growing together. So
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of small things.
If you don't mind coming up here so that way we can maybe have you talking to Mike, because since you're the OG of this,
That's right.
you are though, right? You've been in
Yeah.
longer than Laura, I think.
Now teach the class.
You got Ryan in, Ryan got me.
So I'm here because of, I'm here as a result of that.
So like, obviously, every time I see this guy speak, I'm like, I can't believe he's at Nest right now. And nobody, like, he's kind of like below the radar because everybody's just like, oh, he does a bunch of deals. I mean, my main question is, what do you do for fun? You don't drink, you don't play golf. How do you let loose?
Ryan's fun is his next transaction. That's the honest to goodness truth. Like if Ryan and I'll talk, he'll call me at 8:45 and I'm old, so I'm already laying in bed. I'm like, hey buddy, what's up? I'm like, is that an echo in the background? Are you in the bathroom or still at the office? He's like, oh, I'm at the office. Tonight's my late night. I'm like, you can't have a late night every night, Ryan. So no, I mean, his fun is helping people, honestly. That's my opinion of my tenure with him.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we got 4 kids, so, you know, we
stay busy.
We're pouring into our kids and chasing our kids because when I was growing up, you know, we never got that. So I think everybody, you know, our whys are going to be different. But what I've clearly done is I've defined why I do what I do, right? And for me, I had to define my purpose, my mission, my vision. So, you know, Matt, Nate, you guys know as well too. We went, you know, like I talk about my mission, my vision. Like I know how many transactions I need to close, what I need to net per month to keep my doors open. So I treat my business like a business. But also, I run a time block schedule where when I unplug on the weekends, like this last weekend, I think we had 3 dance competitions. I had 2 volleyball, a full volleyball tournament. You know, and I want to be able to put all the work aside and pour into that. So you got to have balance. I mean, I work out it, so like that's regimented in my schedule, right? So I work out every day. I do things to, you know, to unload. But I also came from 17, 18 years worth of unhealthy habits that led me into other institutions, right? So, I mean, you spend, you know, 10 years in a van playing music and, you know, like stuff like that. So I've already had that aspect. This is just what brings me joy and purpose right now. So my family, what we do. I want to be able to do, I mean, I love doing a lot of transactions, but honestly, I'd rather do less transactions with better people at higher price points. I love people, but there's only so many I can help.
So as you're a coach too.
Yep.
So as like these guys, this is the first time, most of them, first time hearing Ryan. It seems like it's very disciplined, and it is. I feel like most people say like, you know, it's just impossible. Obviously, you have to grow to get to that point, because there's no way I could be Ryan McKee overnight.
Yep.
Because this guy's just a beast, and I tell everybody he's a beast. How would you go from today having no list
Yep.
to maybe in 6 months from now having the
Yeah, that's kind of why I asked from the back. Like, hey, Ryan, I'm here. I'm listening. I don't have anything yet. Like, I've got these notes of this incredible 80 closings per year, but how the heck am I going to get there? So I like the idea of what Ryan said. Start with a list of 10, get that done immediately. The expectation call is probably one of the most important things. And it's like, Stephen, so I'm in a coaching program. In this program, so all of you are now in a coaching program. Congratulations. Did everyone like that? Okay. So it's much easier to tell someone that you're doing an assignment, because everyone has an assignment, everyone has a job, they have a career, they have expectations that are required of them. So I'm in a coaching company, and the coaching company is requiring that I create a VIP list. And so I'm learning about what a VIP is. And number one thing is I had to like my VIPs. So I went through my cell phone and I wrote down 162 names of the 5,000 contacts I have that I like. Like, this person brings me the most amount of damn joy when I call them. They pour into me, like the conversation takes me back to, we've been apart for 7 months, but yet we just acted like we saw each other and we left from right where we picked up right from where we left off, right? So I have to like the people. So then I tell them what the VIP is, okay? So you're a VIP. The only requirement from you is that I'm gonna be able to have 2 people that you refer me this year that are gonna buy or sell a home with me, okay? What I'm going to do for you is I'm going to pour into your business, your life, whatever it is that they do for a living. So this is why I say I like influential people, okay? People that are seeking out advice. You need employees. You're looking for this. This is the next part of expansion for you. You're an assistant manager. You're a district manager. What's the next corporate step? Who do I know in my database? How do I help you get to your next level? So I have to tell them what I'm going to do for them in my relationship with them. And all that I'm asking is that I'm going to be able to have 2 people that you refer me, that they're not going to be a referral. No, a year. 2 closings per year. That's it. 2 per month would be it. I heard it from the back, but he was just firing on all cylinders, so I let him roll.
2 per year. 2 per
Yeah.
year from each.
2 closings per
I'll take
year
2 a
is,
month.
yeah, heck yeah, right? Who wouldn't? But 2 closings per year.
2 a month, you said 2 a month, and I was like, whoa, that's a shitload.
Yeah,
It could happen.
it's a lot,
could
and
happen.
you're going to have accounts that have the ability to, right?
We
So
average about 5 per month. So just to give you guys real-time numbers, and it's taken 5 years to develop, 6 years, but it's there. I mean, 6 years goes by in a snap. If you start, I think you guys this group right here, Rancho Office, can all create a VIP list and say, listen, we're all going to collectively get each other to 10. Let's just hold an accountability level. We're all going to fill it out. When we get to 10, we're going to share what's working, what's not working, and then you monetize it. It's just being intentional. You have to focus on what you focus on expands, right? So if you know that it's just, I need to get 10 people on a list that are committed to giving me 2 transactions, and you ask and they say yes, all you have to do is deliver and ask, right?
yeah, the thing that I was going to say about the expectation call, right, is anybody not like receiving compliments? It's uncomfortable for many of us. Okay, it's typically awkward, but it's awkward when we're right here. When someone's giving me compliments over the phone, I can just blush and be like, ah, golly gee shucks, thanks for that, okay? So when you're complimenting people and you're telling them, look, this is why I've chosen you to be on my VIP list. This is how I see you. This is why I want you to be one of these. Now, by the way, if you're building a list of 40, you never tell anyone it's 40. It's always 10. It's very exclusive, okay? Do not tell. Hey, I got 40 to pick. I'm on number 39 right now, so we're getting down to the nitty gritty. We're finding the very end of it, okay? Like, I have 10 VIPs. These are 10 people that are going to equal 20 families per year that I get to help. Does that make sense? So always keep it exclusive. Never make it too big. I think that that's important. But if you will compliment them and tell them all the reasons that you see this is why they're going to be on your VIP list, I promise you, it's a hell of a lot harder to tell you, like, I'm not really interested in being one of those people for you. Anybody who calls me and they tell me why they think I'm great, I'm like, hey, can you call my wife next and tell her why you think I'm great too? This would help me. So I think those are a couple of small tactics to help you, but start with 10. Ask them, do I have your permission for you to remain on my VIP list? If I do, then I have your permission to call you. I have your permission to be able to stay in contact. I have your permission to be able to ask you for referrals. I'm never going to ask for anything until I pour into you. So I'm always going to ask what I can do for you, and you're just going to have to communicate what that looks like. So
Dylan, right? So we just met, right? So one of the things that I know with one of my VIPs, very similar to you, Dylan, is he's not a compliment person either. So this is Rick. So one of our guys, the way that you can bring him value is to ask him questions, because if he can help answer those questions, this is a guy with a lot of knowledge, he always wants you to bring a lot of questions. I struggle with that. So every time I'm thinking of random things, I write it down. I've got a list of like 20 questions. So when I call him, I'm like, I already got my questions ready. But if I knew, and this is the thing you have to do with your VIPs if you're truly in relationship, is figure out what their love language is, right? So if you know that, it's acts of service, words of affirmation, whatever that is, we have to deliver. That's what I've learned with my team too, is I have to communicate with them off of where they're at, not where I'm at. So I may gift them improperly or talk to them improperly, but if I know that for you it's respect, that's gonna be me, as opposed to me telling you, like complimenting you and making you feel weird, I'd be like, man, I just respect how hard you work and what you've built at the age of 25. Right? So that's easy ways to communicate and make it organic. Cool.
Hey Laura, it looks like you're leaving with your stupid little backpack. Anything you want to say in closing? She takes that backpack everywhere. It's so annoying to me.
here, come here, get up here. You want me to hold your backpack for you? I got you.
You start giving me shit now.
Here, I'll hold this for you. It seems heavy.
Thank you. It is heavy. I think what I see most when I'm coaching or training an agent is failure to launch. It's something I talk about all the time. You're sitting in here and you're thinking of all the ways that you're going to get this done, and then you leave, and then a call happens or another call happens, and then it falls flat instantly. And you get absolutely nothing done. So before you leave kind of the environment of learning, you have to write out 3 non-negotiables around what you learn. You have to write out how you're going to implement it, when you're going to implement it. You have to give yourself a deadline to have it implemented by at least the first step. With every new process, you just heard him, it takes 3, 4, 5 years to really master it, to develop it. Well, when you start a process, even the first 90 days to 6 months, you have 3 to 5 iterations of that, working it into your business model and your personal life. So don't leave this office. And I love that the 3 of you or the 4 of you took notes. I didn't see many people taking notes, and I was like, I love them up there taking notes. You think when you're listening to this that you're going to retain everything. Not everybody does. You typically don't retain things at a high level. So make sure you write it down. You do a download. Anytime, even here today, and I've been in the core for 6 years now, I'm a coach and I still learn at an extreme level. He said something a while ago that I was like, oh my God, I told Dustin, that's a golden nugget. He said, I have a bench. There's about 150 people on my bench of VIPs. It's like a hanger when, as a girl, you got a lot of clothes. Maybe guys, Dustin has a lot of clothes, so he could probably relate too. So do you, so snickering over there. So at the beginning of the year, you should flip all of your clothes around so the hangers are all sitting like this. And if by 6 months you haven't washed it and put it back normally, you should probably go through those clothes. By 1 year, if half those clothes are still flipped around and you haven't worn them, you should probably get rid of those clothes. So it's keeping it top of mind, it's constantly evolving it, and taking what you do in meetings like this and making it slightly better and slightly better. That's all I had to say. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm just good for lunch. I do nothing but show up for lunch. That's what I do. No, I'm a broker.
Rare that she actually shows up.
Oh my God.
It's a treat.
Really, all I do is get shit from Steven all day. I know. I show up all the time. I bring my backpack because I'm always working. No, I am a mortgage broker, so I do own my own company out in Riverside, and I am a core coach right along with this guy. And so is Dustin. He's a mortgage broker as well, also a core coach. So it's funny, there are 30 core coaches across the nation, and you have 3 of them in your little community. Yeah.
And I think probably the biggest thing that gets missed on anything like these classes and seminars, events, all of that is we can get you guys all juiced up. And then, like Laura said, it's what you do when you leave here, right? So if you don't put a plan together in place, once again, I saw that as well too. I think if you guys take what you guys have done and you implement, you're going to be the first 4 that get paid, right? So we can give you the recipe, but the magic is going to be in the accountability. That's why the 3 of us are in the program called the Core. We're paying for accountability. Let's be real. But if you want instant accountability, you got 2 people right there that can already do the VIP list and help you with it today. So if you don't have their numbers, that's the first place I would start is, hey, I need help on this VIP list. I don't want to just rely on myself. I need accountability. Get with Steven, get with Josh. You got 2 other people here that can do it. So
At Lock Your Loan. That's all. Instagram. See, you don't even need a number. Lock Your Loan on Instagram.
perfect. But just remember, you guys, it's
Make sure you tag #backpack.
hashtag backpack. Just need to put that on your backpack. So, but just remember, if there's anything, anything else that we can, help you guys with from today, it's you have to have the plan, you have to have the recipe, but then the big thing is accountability, right? Because none of this is going to happen consistently without having that. So, any other questions? Cool. All right, guys.
Around for a little bit, or you gotta go?
Let me see. I got 4 minutes
All right.
before I start getting blown up.
4 minutes.
So, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Ryan.